let's start with what's happening right now. Now, I'm going to go back for a second to then talk about what's quite literally happening right now in 2025. In 2023 and 2024, tech companies alone laid off over 350,000 workers. Among them, Amazon cut over 27,000 jobs since 2022 as a part of a sweeping cost cutting initiative. Meta eliminated over 21,000 positions across multiple rounds, citing the need for more efficiency. Google's parent company Alphabet laid off thousands from its ad sales, hardware, and engineering divisions, even with billions in quarterly profits. By the way, it's not just tech. Ford Motor Company cut over 3,800 European jobs to shift towards EV production. Dow Chemical slashed 2,000 roles globally to reduce the cost by $1 billion. And Warner Brothers Discovery continued their restructuring following their merger, resulting in thousands of job losses. The message is clear. Productivity expectations are rising, even though the workforce is shrinking. While this is not a new story by any means, okay, it's one that has serious consequences in today's unstable market. So, what's the result? Burnout, according to Gallup's State of the Global Workforce 2023 report, states that 44% of workers said that they experienced daily stress matching 2021's level of stress, which was at an all time high. Employee engagement remains stagnant while disengagement quietly grows. A Deloitte workforce intelligence study found that over 70% of executives are seriously considering leaving for jobs that support their well being. It also stated that 57% of employees across various industries feel exhausted, and 54% of those say that they're struggling with mental health. Now, here's the kicker: burnout is no longer just a mid level issue, it is everywhere, from the frontline staff all the way up to the C suite. Now, you may remember this story. Ariana Huffington, the founder of a company called Thrive Global, stepped down from Huffington Post in 2016 due to health issues related to burnout, calling it a wake-up call for how modern leadership models are failing. We're in a moment where people are afraid to speak up. According to Mindshare Partners 2023 Mental Health Workforce Report, according to Mindshare Partners 2023 Mental Health Work Report, they state that only 49% of employees feel comfortable discussing mental health at work, even though over 60% of those are experiencing symptoms of anxiety and depression. Usage of platforms like BetterHelp or Talkspace have surged during the pandemic, which we all knew, and have stayed at an all-time high. In 2023, BetterHelp crossed $1 billion in revenue, reflecting that massive demand. Meanwhile, psychological safety, which we have spoken about before, is a key predictor of innovation and performance at risk. In companies like Goldman Sachs, where an analyst infamously shared a leaked slide deck in 2021 detailing 100-hour work weeks, the message was loud: we're burning out and no one is listening. Even with some policy changes since then, the culture of overwork persists, specifically in finance, tech, but also beyond. Now, picture something of a future state: office well-being events, meditation apps readily available, companies' internal well-being platforms. Now, you may be saying, we're not a yoga studio, we're not a psychologist's office, and I get it. So who's responding with intention? There are companies who are responding with intention. Increasingly enough, Cisco continues to lead with mental health forward policies, offering something they call a day for me, which is a company-wide wellness break and mental health reimbursements. Unilever, who I talk about quite a bit, has invested in resilience training for over 75,000 employees, focusing on mindfulness and stress reduction. And Ernst & Young, EY, launched a global well-being program and mental health first aid certifications. Even Microsoft has embedded mental health days and emotional intelligence training, pretty impressive, for people managers across teams globally. These companies are recognizing that well-being isn't a line item. It's a business strategy, and not acting on burnout carries very real costs. Reduced innovation, increased sick leave, and accelerated turnover. Now, if you were to address some of this, what you could see is productive meetings, employees taking breaks, and leaders speaking vulnerably. Let's talk about outcomes. When companies address burnout and job insecurity head on, trust improves. In 2023, Salesforce introduced Well-Being Fridays, and they saw an uptick in employee satisfaction despite heavy layoffs earlier in the year. And Lululemon offers personal development stipends and emphasizes connection in a post-COVID world. They are consistently ranked one of the top 100 best companies to work for. Look, guys, these aren't just nice perks. They actually build cultures where people feel safe enough to contribute at their best. And that translates to stronger business results. In fact, McKinsey and Company shows that companies with high levels of employee psychological safety outperform peers in innovation and adaptability. Now, you might be asking, so that's amazing. What would you like me to do with all of this? And it's a good question. Burnout, insecurity, and silent suffering are costing companies more than they know. But there is a path forward, and it starts with recognizing people as the strategy. It means transparent communication, intentional workload management, and I really want to emphasize that. Maybe we'll do another video on that. And leaders who will normalize vulnerability. Now, I know that this is all easier said than done. It's going to take some work, but I want you to begin with recognizing that this is a growing problem and come up with a game plan to fix it. You're not just saving money by doing nothing or ignoring it or remaining under the impression that this isn't happening in your company, because it is. It's happening everywhere. When people feel safe, they stay. When they feel supported, they thrive. When organizations lead with empathy and clarity, they win. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.